Having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to say hello to everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Let me know. Give me a yes in the chat if you can hear me all right. Put a B1 in the chat if you are Black and proud, and if you're breaking generational curses, and if you want your community to win. If you love Black people, then you are in the right place. Also, this is the home for intelligent Black people. That doesn't mean you went to school. It just means you want to be smarter. You want to be wealthier. You want your family to do better. So anyway, hit that thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Shout out the city you're from as you come in. This is kind of late, but I wanted to talk about this topic because I think it's a big one. Also, just a reminder, this podcast is on Spotify. So if you go to Spotify, look up my name, Boyce Watkins, you'll find me on Spotify. It's very important that you connect with us on multiple platforms because, as you know, we have trouble sometimes with Instagram and some of these other places. And literally, they just took down my Instagram. So, but I have a new Instagram. So if you want to follow me and get stock selections and all kinds of investment and wealth information, just follow me at Dr. Boyce Finance. Do me a favor. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Give me a yes if you can hear me all right. I want to make sure you can hear me as I greet you as you come into the chat. I want to say hello to Diane Walton out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. You know, I bet we're related because I got a lot of family in Hoptown. Look for any Watkinses in Hoptown, and I bet you're going to find about 1,000 because my family used to run Hopkinsville. So I'm super excited about Is that Dion or I think it's Dion. I hope I said that right. Anyway, nice to meet you, Miss Walton. You're probably my cousin. Super Mike, intelligent, Stockton, California. Jermaine Trusty out of Camden. Yolanda, how are you from Wichita, Kansas? Good to see you, Jermaine Trusty. Thank you for saying yes. Y'all, so you can hear me okay? The audio's good. It's solid. Okay, because sometimes I have a little echo or I'll do something wrong because I'm just learning the technology. So y'all got to forgive me. All right, so as you hit the thumbs up button, also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. That's really important, really important, really important. The reason it's important is because they shadow ban Black people. Do y'all know this? Do y'all understand that Instagram, Facebook, they tend to shadow ban anybody that is very pro-Black or doesn't fit the agenda or is speaking something that the Democratic Party does not approve or the Republican Party doesn't approve. So because we get shadow banned, I think one way around that is for you to hit the notification bell. So if you hit the notification bell, that means you'll be notified when we go live. Also, we have to connect off of these platforms. So text the word stock to 31996. Not only will we stay connected, but I will make you wealthier. My PhD is in finance, and I will send you stock picks and all kinds of investment information that I have. I'll send you our $5 a day investing plan that'll help anybody go from poverty, any family go from poverty to wealth in less than a generation. I'll also send you a training I did that everybody loves called How to Make Money Without Working. So just text the word stock to 31996. Now let's get with it. Let's get into it. All right. So Kanye West, Mr. West in the building. Kanye West is man, Lord Jesus, dude. This brother, he's got a problem right now. He is in the middle of a battle with Adidas. And the battle involves this $100 million that was spent on, or allegedly, according to Adidas, they put aside $100 million for marketing to help Ye, get his bread and sell his shoes. And I'm gonna tell you, y'all know, I had a lot of conversations with Kanye. He called me during the last All Black National Convention. I guess he wanted to know what we had going on down there, and he actually said he wanted to come. He couldn't make it, but he was welcome. I would have gladly. I kind of, to be honest with you, I was a little bit worried because the security and all that. We've had some rappers there, Killer Mike's come by, David Banner's come by, but we're not gonna bring you just because you're a rapper, just because white people like you. We bring you because Black people like you and Black people need you, and you have something good and productive to offer. So I said, okay, well, you can come in. But then the whole next day, it was like I'm sitting there with the security people trying to figure out how are we going to, at this point, probably the most hated Black man on the planet. How are we going to get him through security? It's going to be a mess. I mean, literally at that time, he was the most talked about person on the entire planet, I think. And it was very, very weird that we talked for maybe 10, 12 hours. Anyway, Kanye, so I have a sensitivity to Kanye. I have a respect for his artistry. I have a respect and appreciation for what he's done as an artist. And I'm gonna tell you the details of the Adidas deal were mind blowing to me. I was absolutely stunned by how much money they were investing in him. Again, I know investing, I know corporate finance, I know all these. I've taught corporate finance at Syracuse University, and I can tell you that I just was blown away by how much money he was making and how much money they were spending. This brother was making about $200 million a year. He was making probably 15, 20 times more than the CEO. It was a beautiful relationship. and I hated to see it go, and I just said, look, I understand you got your issue with the whole Jewish thing or whatever, and I get that. But I kind of wonder if you could let this slide, because there are so many places and people in our community that could benefit from this money and this wealth. But it's his money. He's a man. He can do whatever hell he wants. And besides, who cares what Boyce Watkins thinks anyway? So so Kanye right now is in the media because there is another little detail with this whole situation with Adidas. Give me a yes if you've been following this, if you've been seeing what's been going on. Apparently, there's something about a $100 million fund where Kanye was allegedly, according to Adidas, given $100 million to market his product, and they're now fighting over this money. And this was not supposed to be leaked to the public, but apparently they talked about it in court. And so I'm gonna kind of give you the Dr. Boyce breakdown of what's going on. Hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, please hit that thumbs up button right now. It says according to Uproxx, in October 2022, Adidas officially ended its partnership with Kanye West, leaving the company with $1 billion worth of unsold Yeezy products and a decision to make about the future of the Yeezy designs. Ultimately, Adidas made the decision to sell off the rest of the stock after a class action lawsuit filed by Adidas made this. Oh, sell off the rest of the stock of his shoes, not this company stock. After a class action lawsuit filed by Adidas, shareholders accused the company of knowing about West's problematic behavior and not doing enough to mitigate potential damage. So here's what happened to Adidas. First off, Adidas stock just, plummeted when Kanye West disappeared. When Kanye West was out of Adidas, Adidas was out of a whole lot of money, a whole lot of big bank. Adidas stock got body slammed, absolutely body slammed. In fact, in the last 5 years, Adidas has not been a good company to invest in. Now, one thing that you should understand, though, as much as we might, cheer on Kanye and say, "You go, boy, you kick them in their ass, and they can never recover from you." The thing that you got to understand is that anybody and everybody can be replaced. One of the things that you must realize is that anybody can be replaced. And when you run an institution, and I talk about this a lot in my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, that's my new book. One of the things about running an institution is that if you are institutionally intelligent, you can actually overcome what happens with an individual, right? Individuals are never as powerful as institutions. It's rarely the case. So as much as we might have believed and felt that Adidas would be dead and buried without the great Kanye West, as much as Kanye might have felt that way, I'm gonna show you guys some evidence to just show that Adidas has basically kept it moving. Adidas is back to making bread. Adidas is getting it in financially. So let me show this to you. So Adidas stock plummeted. Just went to dog crap when they lost Kanye West. But if you look at Adidas stock over the last year, Adidas stock, that's green is good. Green means they're making money. If you look at year to date, Adidas has been a very good investment, 35.95%. Now, if you own it for the last 5 years, you're a little bit mad. This is why the shareholders are pissed. Like you see right here, October 28th, 2022. Anybody know what was going on around October 28th, 2022? Give me, say something in the chat if you know what happened right here at this point I'm pointing at on this chart, where the stock price hit such rock bottom that it looked like it was going to just be dead and buried. What was happening at that particular moment that might have caused the stock price to go straight to crap? Anybody know? Anybody know why Adidas went straight to shit? What do you think? It was when they dropped Kanye. It was when the deal with Kanye ended. So you see here, you had this major upswing in the stock price. You go back here to the beginning of 2020. This is when they made the deal with Kanye. The stock price is trading at 96, 97. It plops all the way up to 189. Big money being made. Stock price doubles. And I give Mr. West credit for causing this double in stock price. He was a juggernaut. He was an absolute juggernaut for Adidas stock. You cannot take that away from him. Kanye took Adidas to the next level. It was a beautiful partnership. If you look at Adidas stock over all of its history, if you'd started investing a long time ago, it could have made you a ton of money. This is the Kanye West era. They thought it was all up from here. Well, unfortunately, things don't always work out the way we want them to. And so the things happened with West, and it all fell apart. This is a look at it from a different perspective. You see here in this low point that I'm pointing at, where the stock's at 45, 46, 47. That's when they dropped West. But look at Adidas stock since then. You know what they did? They basically wrote him off. They said, you know what? We're not going to make a deal with this guy. It's not going to work. And investors were looking at this low stock price and said, oh, this is a great institution, actually. Adidas, there are still people that will still buy Adidas products. Remember, they still have Beyonce. Beyonce can't sell shoes like Kanye, though, but they did have Beyonce. Beyonce, give me a yes if you understand that Beyonce is a powerful brand. Give me a yes if you understand that there are just as many people that know about Beyonce as there are that know Kanye. Now, does Beyonce have the same creative genius as a Kanye West? Probably not. I think that Kanye has more creative energy than Beyonce. That's why he was murdering Beyonce in shoe sales, killing Beyonce. But they still had Beyonce. Beyonce wasn't a Kanye, but Beyonce was still Beyonce. That means something. So Adidas wasn't betting their farm on just one guy. They put a lot into Kanye, but Kanye was not the be all end all. And so Kanye, brother, as much as you might call yourself Jesus and everything else, like before you there were none, after you there will be no more. No, before you there were some, and after you there will be another one. E40 had a great song called "They'll Find a New Nigga Next Year." Anybody ever heard that song? Anybody? Any E40 songs? Where anybody? Any E40 fans up in the building? How many are E40 fans? Where he had that song, "They'll find a new nigga next year." Anybody remember that? Where he was talking about the rappers who sometimes, unfortunately, end up believing that the whole company's gonna fall apart if they die, or the company will just never make another nickel if they leave the label. And E40 was like, "No, they'll find a new nigga next year." That was the song, literally. And in E40, shout out to E40. He's an artist that's been making music over 30 years. Why? Well, because E40 talked about starting his own business back before it was cool to do that. So long story short, Adidas stock became a wonderful investment when it dropped down at its absolute lowest after Kanye left. This is a reminder to you all. I talked to you all about investing. Give me a yes if you invest. Give me a yes if you're regularly investing for your family, or at least give me a yes if you're going to start doing it. I need you to all start doing that because you got to invest to build your wealth. One of the things I want you to learn from this is that a bad company can sometimes be the best investment in your portfolio. Sometimes a company that's down and out can be the best move you can make. Suge Knight, when Tupac was in jail, when Tupac went to prison, Suge Knight said, "Let me make an investment in this guy because now he's down and out. Now everybody thinks he done fell off. Now nobody wants him. So let me go and see him in jail when ain't nobody else seen him." So you got to look for the asset when nobody else is looking for the asset. You got to dig for the gold when everybody else is walking past it. You got to go and look in the places like dating. You got to go pick ladies. You got to pick the man before he starts balling, before he becomes President Obama, before he becomes the millionaire. Go find him when he's in grad school, when he's in the library every day. Go find him when he's the young guy that's working at Denny's to make money to get himself through school. That's when you go. You invest in the asset when the price is low. That's how you get the benefits when the price is high. Give me a yes if you follow what I'm saying. Can you give me an amen if you really get what I'm saying? You got to invest when the asset price is low. You don't invest when it's high because that's when everybody is jumping on the bandwagon. So everybody wanted to invest in Adidas when the price was high. Not many people invested when the price was low. The people that invested when the price was low ended up making money. Okay, so same way as when Suge Knight, he didn't try to get Pac when he was big. He tried to get Pac when he was down and out. He went to visit him when he was in jail. They signed a contract on a piece of toilet paper, and it became, if you know anything about hip hop history, it became one of the best contracts, best deals ever made because he put out that double album with Dr. Dre. It lit all the hip hop on fire. Death Row Records sat in the driver's seat as the owners and controllers of the biggest music genre in the last 50 years. They could have turned that into $1 trillion. They could be running a $400 billion company right now, but unfortunately, bad culture threw them off track. Bad culture caused them to lose wealth. Bad culture was Suge Knight's beating people up, hanging people out windows, people getting shot, people smoking weed in the studio, hanging out. No disrespect if you smoke a little weed. I'm not dissing that. What I'm saying is that if that's all you do, then you got to stop that. If you getting that synthetic stuff, guess what? The government is putting stuff in that to screw you up. That's why you can't get it up for your woman. That's why you don't want to get up and do nothing. That's why you can't think straight. That's why you might be losing your mind. So that synthetic stuff that they put in your body, let me just tell you the truth. I'm gonna be honest with you, black man. I hate to do this because I know a lot of people are advocates of cannabis and weed. I use CBD oil on my knees because when I run, my knees hurt and I have to fight the inflammation. So I'm all about the CBD. But I'm also about the WIN. I'm also trying to get out here and win. And one of the things I noticed is that you can't win if you high all the time. That's bad culture. In fact, I talk about that a lot in my book. My book is called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. It's an Amazon bestseller. Feel free to go take a look at that. All I talk about in this book is how to develop a culture that is going to lead to economic rewards and how to get rid of the culture that's going to cause you to blow your whole bag. I think Kanye, unfortunately, blew a bag. And I'm not dissing. This is just the truth. I don't understand it. There's not a lot that the Jewish community could do to make me mad enough to throw away What probably could have become $10 billion. I don't know how many. You can't call me a nigga and get me to throw away $10 billion. You just can't. I wouldn't do it. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't sell out, but you couldn't. It'd be hard for you to find enough insults or things to piss me off that's gonna make me throw away $10 billion. Because I'm thinking about my kids, grandkids, great grandkids, triple great grandkids. They all living good for the next 300 years because Uncle Boyce got a bag. All right. So anyway, do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching drboystv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm a believer in Powernomics. Dr. Claude Anderson's website is powernomics.com. In the Black Business School, we have helped over 10 million of our people learn how to invest for the first time for literally 1/1000th of what they paid in college. If you'd like to join us for free Powernomics training on Wednesday nights at 8:30, just go to boycewatkins.com. We're doing this for free for the whole community. Also, some of you have reached out about me doing a training in your city the same way we did in Seattle, where I spent 4 hours doing a deep dive on my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. If you'd like to do that, then just email. I'll give you an email address. You can send an email to manager@boycewatkins.com, and we'll partner with you. If you find a venue and you pay the deposit, then we will market the event for you to help you have a successful event. So it can be a moneymaker thing where you raise money for your group. We raise money that we need to cover our expenses, and the community gets what it needs. So this is how you build wealth. This is how you build power. This is how you build institutions. So if you have a church, an investment group, your family, whoever, and you want to have an event and you want me to come by, just help us get some bills paid, and I'm in your city. I will do this. I'm gonna do about maybe 5 cities this fall. That's it, because we got the All Black National Convention. But I love Seattle so much. I want to do it again. I'm gonna go back to Seattle. I'm gonna go to some other cities. So I'm gonna leave that email address up there in case anybody would like to arrange for me to come in and do a training on stock options or my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. All right, so hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. I'm gonna read some of this to you. They said now, this is according to Uprocks. They said, according to Bloomberg, Adidas and Kanye are locked in another legal dispute over the brand's marketing fund for Yeezy, which is reportedly worth $100 million a year. So he was doing so well with the shoes that they offered $100 million just for the marketing. I think that's so fascinating. That's so much freaking money. And it says, according to court filings, Adidas says West, quote, mishandled virtually all of the marketing funds, using them for different purposes other than what they were intended. That's a no-no in business. You're not supposed to commingle your funds. 50 million went into an account in Wyoming, while another 25 million went to Kanye's JPMorgan Chase account in New York, which has since been closed by the bank in response to Kanye's anti-Semitic comments. Yeah, I don't know. That whole, like, we're gonna call you anti-Semitic because we're mad because you're telling us Jewish people have power, but then yet somehow you're able to shut down people's bank accounts. I mean, only powerful people can do that. Like, y'all do understand that only powerful people can decide that you can't have a bank account, right? Now, mind you, maybe that money should be in a Black-owned bank, but I'm not here to judge. I'm here to just say that it's awfully ironic that a powerless group of people will have so much power to be able to do things that powerless people actually cannot do. Anyway, let's keep going. I digress. All right. Meanwhile, Kanye's lawyers reiterate his accusation that Adidas stole Yeezy designs to make lower priced shoes. That's possible. I know when I talked to Kanye, he did send me images of shoe designs that he believed were stolen from him by Adidas. I don't know the details because I think it really comes down to what was in the contract. Because Adidas claims that they own those designs. Adidas is basically saying, "Look, this is our stuff. Like, you can't, and we got the copyrights, patents, trademarks, whatever. And companies are good with that. Did y'all know? Check this out. This is something that's important to understand about Black ownership. Did y'all know that one of my good buddies is named Daryl Bell. I gotta call Daryl. I love this guy. Daryl Bell played Ron on A Different World. So anybody remember Ron on A Different World, Dwayne Wayne's best friend? Well, Daryl Bell, I'm very proud to say that Daryl is one of my buddies. And he's super smart. And the reason that we're friends is because Daryl, he was a part of my brother's speakers bureau. It was called Great Black Speakers. And anyway, he is a super smart financial guy. And one day I remember I asked him, I said, why don't you do it? Why don't y'all bring back A Different World? Like, why can't we bring it back? And one thing he let me know that I did not know is that Warner Brothers has that show on lock. Like, you talk about something that is really not Black owned at all, but yet Black people love it. Like, we think it's a Black show, and I guess it kind of is technically, but Black people don't really own much of anything when it comes to A Different World. Black people, did you know that they trademark everything? I think they got a copyright on Whitley's voice. Like she can't even imitate Whitley in public, Jasmine Guy, without being sued. Like this is crazy. So the thing about Hollywood, and I think about this a lot as they have the Hollywood writer's strike. Have y'all been following that? Right now, all the writers and the directors and everything are on strike, and the actors are on strike, and Hollywood's pretty much shut down. I'm gonna just tell you like this. I kind of feel like that's a good thing, man. I'm kind of happy that Hollywood might disappear or might get its ass kicked after this strike because I kind of feel like Hollywood, y'all ain't the only game in town. You're not the only place where people know how to make a movie. You're not the only individuals that know how to put out content. And I'm gonna tell you, the thing is that this strike, I think they're gonna get hit by arrogance. I think arrogance leads them to think, well, if we don't make no movies, then there won't be no content. How many of y'all, give me a yes or no, how many of y'all think that if Hollywood shuts down, that there will be no content for you to enjoy? I'll wait. How many of you think that if Hollywood disappeared tomorrow, that there will be no content, that you would just literally have no entertainment anywhere? Nothing you can watch, nothing you can enjoy, no movies, no TV shows, nothing. No, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. You live in a world that is full of content, and the longer you go on strike, the more people are going to find other sources of content. That's the first thing that's going to happen to you with your arrogant ass. But also, the more you're going to find that the creators of that content are going to find other outlets for their skill. I've said it all the time. I go to LA. I go to LA every 3 months and I do a training in LA on wealth. And I cannot wait to go back because I meet lots of actors, directors, and really talented Black people. And I tell them that one of my jobs that I've taken on for myself is to help remove you from the chains, to help you get out of slavery. Because I hate the idea of our most talented, best and brightest, hardest working people begging on their knees, begging Hollywood, please, Master, can I just get an opportunity? I just need an opportunity. Can you just please give me opportunity? Give me, I just please. It's degrading. I hate it. It makes me sad. If you're that talented and you can go to LA and kick ass and take names and memorize scripts and work on productions, well, you can do that everywhere. Atlanta is the real Black Hollywood. Atlanta is the place where the talented people go. I'm moving to Atlanta. I bought a house in Atlanta and I'm moving to Atlanta because Atlanta is where it's at. That's the future of the Black community, not Hollywood. LA is a place with like weirdos and drug addicts and where you got to put something up your butt in order to get a chance to be in a movie. I ain't trying to do all that, man. Seriously, you out here deforming, degrading your culture. You know how many Black people that are super stars out here that literally just did some really heinous shit in order for them to get a chance to like be in a movie? Like really, and they think that that's what they have to do. And I'm not dogging them for doing it. I feel sorry for you. I want to help you. I want to see you free and liberated, because all you got to do is make sure. And I talk about this in my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. I know I keep talking about my book, and I'm gonna keep reminding y'all that it's out there. I have other books. I have Black American Money, The New Black Power, a lot of series. You can go to drboycebooks.com if you want to take a look at my books. My kids will ship them to you. And they can ship you autographed copies. If you want an autograph, they can ship you an autographed copy. And the thing that gets me is that we don't understand just what it means to have a culture where you're training your kids to actually create economic entities that allow them to express their talents without having to beg or get on the casting couch. Thank you, Sizzler. In order for them to be successful, they don't have to get on their knees and put something in their mouth in order for them to be in a movie. They can just be in a movie because they're talented. Or Lizzo, for example. A lot of people thought I was being mean to Lizzo. I wasn't being mean to Lizzo. I care about Lizzo. I'm like, you're talented, you're beautiful, you can play the flute and you can sing. That should be enough. If you were white, if you were Adele, you could get on stage and perform and you wouldn't have to do all the shenanigans. You would not have to be part-time superstar and part-time clown in order for you to be successful. You wouldn't have to be a stripper clown in order for you to get on stage. You wouldn't have to be twerking while who the hell twerks while you play the flute? That's got to be hard. First of all, that's got to be like literally the most difficult. I mean, just playing the flute is harder. My wife plays the flute. And Lord Jesus, if my wife was twerking while she played the flute, then I might be having another baby at the age of 52. Okay. Because if my wife could twerk and play the flute at the same time, then that would be a nice little add-on feature. but I cannot imagine how difficult that must be. So I'm telling you that that's what they have black folks doing. They have you standing on your head, drinking a beer and singing the Star Spangled Banner because you're trying to impress people to get them to give you any little scrap of an opportunity that they might have available, where you can actually create industry of your own. But what you got to do is you have to change your culture. The one little thing you got to change with your culture is very basic. Make sure all your kids know how to start a business by the age of 12. In fact, I give the whole blueprint in my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. It's on Amazon, or you can go to drboycebooks.com or wherever you want to go to get a copy. It's up to you. I will tell you that if you do little things like that with your kids while they're young, that means that when they get successful, when they become talented actors, actresses, singers, and dancers, they're going to be able to create their own opportunities. Tyler Perry did that. He's wearing the Medea dress. I don't rock like that. I don't want to put on a dress. However, you must give him credit for the fact that he was smart enough to know how to take his talent and get it to his audience. And now Tyler Perry is a multi-billionaire. I think that is a better economic model than the one that says, I'm gonna go to Hollywood and risk getting put in, having to get on drugs and become a part-time porn star and a cocktail waitress in order to wait for my big break. Stop waiting on Jesus and start working on yourself. That's what you got to do. All right. Anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're watching drboystv.com, the home for intelligent black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. And if you could make sure you hit the notification bell, because channels like mine get blackballed, and you can see why, because I talk about stuff that people don't approve of, but it's okay. I'm going to keep on doing it. I also want to let you guys know that don't forget, we have the All Black National Convention happening in October in Atlanta at the Marriott Marquis Hotel. We're going to make Black history this year. It's going to be the leading gathering, probably one of the greatest gatherings of Black intelligent people in the history of this country. And let me tell you why. We're not just going to have our convention, but I found out that the Black Doctoral Network, the largest organization of Black PhDs in the country, is having their conference in the same city at the same time in the same building. So that means that, I reached out to the director, or the founder of the group, and Dr. Marcus Green, and we're going to just collaborate. We're going to bring some of those PhDs down. We're going to do some group activities. We're going to bring everybody together. So this is probably, I can't think of any time where there's been more intelligent Black people gathered in one location than what we're going to have here. So we're literally making Black history. So if you'd like to learn more about the convention, or if you have a business and you'd like to sell your products there, or you'd like to market on this platform, just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. We will hook you up. Also, if you want to receive Dr. Boyce profit alerts, text to your email, and also I'll send you the $5 a day investing plan, as well as some other trainings and free stuff that will help you on your wealth journey. Feel free to go to or text the word stock to 31996. If you text stock to 31996, you can get that. And also, this podcast is on Spotify. All right, so let me see. Sizzler says, let's see. What class was the bomb as usual? Oh, okay. So you came to stock market class. Great. Well, keep coming. We do stock market Tuesdays. We do Powernomics on Wednesdays. And then on Thursdays, we're doing stock options. I'm going to do a stock options program very, very soon. So just hang out. We got a lot of good stuff for you in the Black Business School. All right. So we're talking about Kanye West. And I'm going to go ahead and finish up with Mr. West, because I think this is worth discussing. Apparently, he's in this duel with Adidas right now over this $100 million marketing fund. And Adidas is suing him, and they're basically saying, you owe us a bunch of money. So Adidas apparently is on the counterattack. They are coming back at Kanye, basically saying, look, dude, you not only cost us a whole bag of money, but we're going to now cost you some money. And according to Uproxx, they said his lawyer, Kanye's lawyers, reiterate his accusation that Adidas stole Yeezy designs to make lower price shoes. According to the terms of the agreement, though, Adidas owns all the designs, while Kanye licensed his name and likeness to Adidas. So Kanye got that money, but apparently, according to these contracts, he licensed his name and his likeness to Adidas. Adidas has requested for Ye's accounts to be frozen to prevent him from moving the allegedly misappropriated $75 million, which Kanye said he used on Sunday services. He says the traveling gospel choir performances cost around $50 million. Anybody remember Sunday service? Y'all remember when Kanye did that thing? I'm gonna Google it. Kanye Sunday service. How many of y'all remember when Kanye West? I guess I don't know if this was like Jesus Walks Part 2 or what this was. How many of y'all remember when he was performing with a gospel choir and they were traveling all around the world? Anybody remember the Sunday service? thing, it was interesting, right? I'm not here to say it was good or bad. Kanye's a superstar. He's super talented. So, I'm sure it was very, very good. Kanye's a beast at performing. And with this Sunday service thing, they got a choir and they went around and he performed with the choir. And according to what they're saying here, and I do believe Kanye really believes in the Jesus stuff. When I talked to him on the phone, we talked about Jesus and everything. I don't go to church, but I know Jesus very well. My mama is a pastor pretty much, and my father actually preached at a church. So I can get with you on the Jesus tip. I don't go to church though, because I believe God can make house calls. So this Kanye, this Sunday service thing. So 50,000 people attended his Sunday service at Coachella. This is what he did. And the price tag, according to these reports, was about $50 million. Now, here's one of the things I really, I've mentioned this and I got to mention it again just because I think it's important to talk about these things. I want you to imagine this. So Sunday service happened. It happened and it's over. Sunday service is done. It was a 3-month thing. What if we had taken that 50 million and and went to, let's say, it said, let's start an HBCU. Let's fully fund and endow Powernomics University, let's say, or Dr. Claude Anderson University. And let's say we use the 50 million to raise 100 million or 150 million. 150 million is the down payment, collateral, whatever, and we raise 100 million or whatever. And imagine if we hired, at a fair rate, say, I don't know, 200 of the smartest black people we could possibly find, 200 of the brightest black people on the planet, and then charge a small fee for black people to be educated on Powernomics, to be educated on entrepreneurship, to be educated on how to invest, to be educated on how to start and run a strong family, to be educated on health is wealth, how to take care of your health and how to avoid eating toxic food, to be educated on real estate, to be our people to be educated on Black history. Imagine that. Imagine if we did that. In fact, let's say we didn't even hire 100 of these faculty. Let's say, or 200. Let's say we just had 100 of the best and brightest people in our community who love black people. 100 B1 people. Give me a yes, you follow my vision here. 100 B1 people. Let's say let's say we pay them 75,000 a year. So that would be per year, 750,000, $7.5 million a year for faculty salary. And then we've got, some modest buildings, but also use digital technology so we could scale and allow people to take digital classes as well. We could probably educate like 10 million black people over the next 50 years, at least 10 million. I think it's more than that, honestly, because in the Black Business School, we've educated over 10 million and I started the Black Business School with the money from my paychecks at Syracuse University. I didn't have funding. I didn't have 50 million like Kanye had. I had more like $50. And then that grew to 500, which grew to 5,000, which grew to more and more. And eventually we were able to, put millions into what we're doing. But imagine that. And I say that because, this is why economic training is so important. This is why economic culture is so important, because I would argue that if Kanye had been raised with an economic culture that helped him to understand just the magnitude of transformative institution building that could occur in the black community, just to be able to visualize the magnitude of the institutional development that could occur with just even the tiny amount of money he spent on Sunday service. I'm not going to talk about the 200 million that he made, last year, which I don't know where that money is. Then a lot of our problems would be solved. Literally, y'all don't understand. There's something in economics called a ripple effect. The ripple effect means that if you make a big wave and you do something massive and you develop something that's sustainable, it's not just going to affect a few people. It's going to affect those people and all the people that they meet and the people that they meet. So if I talk to a mother and a father and I convince them to raise their children in a certain way economically, and they've got 4 children, well, guess what? That's 4 black people that are all going to be different in their thinking than there were before. Well, if all those 4 kids each have 3 kids of their own, that's 12 people whose lives have been changed. And then after that, if all 12 of those kids have 3 kids, that's 36 people. And then on top of that, all the people that they interact with, if 36 of those kids on average are able to create, say, 100 or 50 jobs or whatever, then you're talking about thousands of jobs being created just from one family, right? That's called scale. That's the ripple effect mixed with scale is what you're looking for in the Black community, where we have to, as a cultural norm, and I talk about this in my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. As a cultural norm, we can't get into the trap of idolizing the one successful Negro. Do you understand what I'm saying? We can't get into this conversation of about how that one guy is super important. We can't get caught up in sitting here saying, well, look at him. You're such a role model for the community. That's great, but that's one dude. Do you understand? You will never be able to fight systematic racism if you do not have a system. You will not be able to fight the army of white supremacy if you do not build an army. There has never in the history of this world ever been an army built that consisted of one dude. But hip hop, unfortunately, again, bad culture. That's why I talk about culture a lot in my book. Nobody talks about economics from the position of culture. They talk about it with specifics, like here's how you invest, here's what stocks you buy. None of that matters if your culture is bad. Professor James Small talks about this. Shout out to him. If you do not have the right economic culture that uses the word we more than you use the word I, then you will always lose. And so one thing, one area where I'll say that Kanye and I are now on the same page is Kanye uses the word I a lot. He thinks about I and me. I want to talk about we and us. And this is very challenging because I'm sitting there thinking like, hey, bro, I know you wanted to spend the 50 million because you wanted to see a choir in your image. But do you understand like what opportunity was wasted when that 50 million wasn't put into some sort of infrastructural development in the Black community? Do you understand what someone like me I was the only Black man on the planet to get a PhD in finance in the year 2002. And I've dedicated all of that to Black wealth. I don't care about white, Asian, nothing. I don't give a none of that. I'm not, no disrespect if you're white. I don't hate you. I don't care. You take care of yours. I take care of mine. And do you know what somebody like me would be able to do with that kind of money? Do you understand like what I would, do you know what I could, do you know I could flip this whole damn thing on its head if I had just 1/10 of the money that these Negroes are throwing away, given to Jake the jeweler and Louis Vuitton and all this other stuff? Literally. And the thing is, I don't even want the money. I literally was like, I don't want any of your money. I'm not begging you for, I invest. I know how to make money. My family's good. Um, I'm thinking about the rest of our family. I'm talking about all the Black kids that can't eat today. I'm thinking about all the single mamas who are struggling, who have to sleep with a fat, dirty, dusty ass man just so they can pay some bills. I'm talking about all of the smart Black people who are trapped on the corporate plantation and can't get off because they can't find a way to make a living outside of getting on their knees and tickling the white man's balls. Like that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the rest of our family and the fact that we got a chance to be superheroes right now. We have a chance to come in like Harriet Tubman and bust the whole thing up and bring our gun and free everybody, right? So this is what you have a chance to do. And I really hope, and I believe, and here's what I believe. I naively believe that some entertainer is really going to get that. I really believe that there's going to be some entertainer sitting on a billion who's going to get a call from the Forbes list. The Forbes is going to say, congratulations, Negro, you're on the Forbes list. And he's going to hang up the phone and say, thank you, but I don't care. And he's not going to take all his money and give it to Jake the jeweler. He's not going to go give it to Europeans. He's going to go back and he's going to hire some of the smartest people on the planet. If you're in that category, I'll help you for free. I'll advise you for free. I don't need none of your money, brother. I really don't. I will tell you what I know for free. And then he's going to come in and he's going to change the world. He's going to make Black history in the way that it should be made. He's going to make Black history in a way that nobody from the civil rights movement ever did. Nobody has ever made in terms of entertainment, that nobody's ever made in terms of sports. You're going to make history because you'll be the first Black man who can do for Black people what Elon Musk is doing for white folks. Elon Musk is not putting out albums for white people. Jeff Bezos is not dribbling basketballs. The richest, Bill Gates is not busting raps about how much money he got, how much Gucci and Louis he got, and how many big booty women he got in his Mercedes. These people are creating thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs for their people. They're creating industries that are going to be around long after they're dead. They're developing things that have a massive ripple effect that is of epic proportions. So this is what I'm looking for. And I see you, Jared. I see your question. You say, why don't you start a mutual fund? Because I just don't want to be handling a bunch of people's money. I just don't. Because unfortunately, in the black community, to be honest with you, we don't have a lot of what are called qualified investors. And what do I mean by that? It's not an insult. It's just a fact. A lot of people invest and they don't understand risk. They don't understand that if you invest, you're not automatically going to make money. God does not create a money tree that becomes an instant ATM machine where a bunch of money falls out of the sky just because you chose to be an investor. When you invest, you might lose money. And the challenge that I see, and this is why I just don't get involved. I don't want to go managing people's money like that. I do it for my family. I do it for people that are close to me, that trust me and know me. But I can't do that for strangers, because the minute something goes wrong or the minute the investment doesn't work out, what happens? What do y'all think happens? Oh, you're a scammer. You're scamming people. You're scamming. No, maybe they didn't scam you. Maybe they just simply made an investment and it didn't work out. Maybe they just tried and did their best and did their due diligence and it just didn't pan out. And the thing is that white people have the luxury of being able to build a business, have things go bad, declare bankruptcy, and not be called a scammer by the whole world. Whereas in the black community, some people just think if you did not make money, then you must have stole it. And this is just a lack of economic education sometimes. So again, I'm not saying so what I'd rather do is simply tell you what I'm doing so you can do it yourself, or also encourage you to get with your family and form investment clubs. We don't need a big, massive solution where all of us are doing something together necessarily. There could be some stuff in that category, but really you need family-based solutions. So I think that if you talk about one family after another having an investing philosophy, one family after another having an investing culture, one family after another breaking generational curses, one family after another forming family investment groups, that's going to do more for black wealth than waiting for some Negro on TV to save everybody. That just ain't going to happen. I know these celebrities. They're very disappointing to me in real life. I guarantee it. So anyway, that's it, guys. I'm done. And thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your time. Also, just a reminder, I do have books at drboycebooks.com, or you can go to boycewatkins.com. Black American Money is one of my books. I wrote this book years ago when I was at Syracuse University. So if I say anything from 14 years ago that sounds crazy, just know that I've gotten smarter since then. Also have another book called Financial Lovemaking. I don't know if you guys have heard of that or not, but if you are into the whole love and money kind of thing, feel free to go to boycewatkins.com, where you can find it on Amazon. And last but not least, if you want some free stuff, follow me on Instagram at Dr. Boyce Finance. That's my new Instagram page. You guys know I had trouble with Instagram, but I don't care. So me and Kanye, that's one thing we have in common. We both got booted off Instagram, but I'm not as famous as him, so I don't know if I'm going to get my page back. However, if you want to follow me on Instagram, just look up Dr. Boyce Finance. And also, if you'd like to receive Dr. Boyce profit alerts every week, as well as a copy of our $5 a day investing plan, just text the word stock to 31996. That's stock to 31996. Also, I'm on Spotify. So follow me on multiple platforms if you like this kind of stuff. That way we stay connected in case I disappear, because I don't know, they might take me down tomorrow. That's why I come and talk to you guys as much as I can. So God bless you. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon. Take care now. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.